Kabbalah, a word that seems to echo through time, whispered in the halls of ancient temples, pondered over by sages in dimly lit chambers, concealed in the folds of sacred texts. But what is Kabbalah? For some, it is a path to divine wisdom, the hidden knowledge of creation. For others, it is a map of the soul, a mystical key to understanding both the cosmos and the self. It has been studied by rabbis and alchemists, by philosophers and mystics. It has influenced theology, occultism, hermeticism, and even modern spirituality. Some see it as a science of the soul, while others believe it holds the secrets of reality itself. But here's the truth: we cannot explain Kabbalah in a single video. Even its most famous text, the Zohar, is a labyrinthine masterpiece spanning thousands of pages, filled with cryptic parables, numerological codes, and profound metaphysical insights. Unlike many religious traditions that openly share their teachings, Kabbalah was never meant for the masses. For centuries, it was guarded, hidden, passed only from master to disciple in whispered conversations, never written down in full. It was said that only men over 40, trained in the Torah and the Talmud, were allowed to study Kabbalah. Why? Because Kabbalah was considered dangerous. It was believed that those who approached it without preparation risked madness, obsession, or worse, contact with forces they could not control. The great Jewish philosopher Maimonides warned against misinterpretations of mysticism. The rabbis feared that a reckless mind might invoke divine energies without knowing how to contain them. Yet, despite these warnings, the thirst for hidden knowledge has never ceased. The forbidden is always the most desired, and throughout history, the secrets of Kabbalah have leaked into the hands of scholars, mystics, and visionaries across the world. The language of symbols. But here's where things become even more mysterious. Kabbalah is not just a body of knowledge. It is a living system, a sacred code embedded in reality itself. It speaks through numbers and letters, through sacred names and divine emanations. It is hidden within the Torah, concealed in the geometry of the Hebrew alphabet, waiting for those who know how to decipher its secrets. Kabbalah is a tradition that does not merely describe the universe, it claims to be part of it. The structure of existence itself is mirrored in its symbols. The 10 Sephirot of the Tree of Life, representing the unfolding of divine consciousness. The 22 paths, reflecting the letters of the Hebrew alphabet, the fundamental building blocks of creation. The Tetragrammaton, the ineffable name of God, said to contain the formula of all existence. This is why Kabbalah is unlike any other philosophy, any other system of thought. It is not merely intellectual, it is transformational. It is a path not just to knowledge, but to experience. Where does true wisdom come from? Can the deepest mysteries of the universe be discovered through reason and logic, or must they be revealed by divine forces? Kabbalah is not just a philosophy. But where did it begin? The angel Raziel and the primordial revelation. According to one of the oldest mystical traditions, the first recipient of Kabbalistic knowledge was Adam himself. After the fall from Eden, humanity lost direct communion with the divine. But Adam was not abandoned. He was given a gift, a mystical book said to have been delivered by the angel Raziel, the keeper of secrets. This book contained the divine structure of reality, the hidden forces behind creation, and the names of the angels that govern the cosmos. Some say that Adam passed this wisdom to his descendants, but over time, much was lost. It is said that this book later came into the hands of Enoch, the ancient patriarch who walked with God and was taken up to heaven without dying. Some traditions identify him with Metatron, the highest of the archangels, the scribe of divine mysteries. Another tradition holds that Abraham, the first patriarch, was the true founder of Kabbalistic wisdom. The Sefer Yetzirah, one of the oldest Kabbalistic texts, is traditionally attributed to him. It describes the creation of the universe through the power of letters, numbers, and divine forces, suggesting that language itself is the code of existence. According to this tradition, Abraham received mystical insight into the 10 emanations of God, the Sephirot, and the 22 sacred letters of the Hebrew alphabet, which he saw as fundamental elements of creation, like the atoms of divine speech. Some accounts claim that Abraham was a master astrologer, interpreting the movements of the stars as manifestations of divine will. His wisdom was said to be so profound that even the sages of ancient Babylon marveled at his understanding. As the centuries passed, this sacred knowledge was carried forward in secret. Some say it was passed from Abraham to Isaac, then to Jacob, and later to Joseph. But the next great revelation came at Mount Sinai. Moses is often seen as the ultimate lawgiver, the one who received the written Torah, the foundation of Judaism. But Kabbalists claim that Moses received far more than what was written in the scrolls. According to the Zohar, Moses was initiated into a higher, esoteric Torah, a level of knowledge that was too powerful to be revealed to the masses. This hidden teaching was passed only to the most enlightened initiates, the 70 elders of Israel. It is said that Moses not only spoke with God, but also ascended through the realms of divine consciousness, penetrating the secrets of the Sephirot and the celestial worlds. What if I told you that language is more than communication? That words do not just describe reality, they create it? For Kabbalists, this is not metaphorical. It is literal. The letters of the Hebrew alphabet are not arbitrary symbols. They are forces woven into the fabric of existence itself. To understand Kabbalah, one must first understand the power of sacred language. The word as creation, the divine speech of Genesis. The idea that words create reality is not unique to Kabbalah, but in Jewish mysticism, it is the foundation of everything. In the book of Genesis, God does not shape the universe with his hands. He speaks it into existence. Let there be light, and there was light. Creation, according to Kabbalah, is an ongoing process, continuously sustained by divine speech. If God were to withdraw his words, existence itself would dissolve into nothingness. This is why Hebrew is more than a language. It is a cosmic code. Every letter, every word, every name carries divine energy, structuring the seen and unseen worlds. To change the arrangement of letters is to manipulate reality itself. This is the foundation of practical Kabbalah, a mystical tradition of words, numbers, and divine names that unlock hidden forces in the universe. The Tetragrammaton, the name above all names. At the heart of Kabbalistic mysticism lies a name that cannot be spoken, the Tetragrammaton. Why is it so sacred? Because according to Kabbalah, this name is not just a label for God. It is the very structure of existence itself. Each letter represents a different aspect of divine manifestation. Yod, the spark of creation, the first impulse of divine will. He, the expansion of that will into existence. Vav, the bridge between the divine and the material world. He, the final realization of creation. Some Kabbalists teach that properly pronouncing this name could alter reality itself, which is why it was forbidden to say aloud. Only the high priest in the Temple of Jerusalem was permitted to utter it, and even then, only once a year, on Yom Kippur, in the Holy of Holies. When the temple was destroyed, the correct pronunciation was lost. Or was it? Some believe that the true pronunciation of the Tetragrammaton is a secret passed down through hidden Kabbalistic lineages. Others say that it is meant to remain unspoken, as its very sound could unravel the boundaries of reality. The 72 names of God. These are not names in the conventional sense. They are combinations of letters derived from 3 verses in Exodus, describing the parting of the Red Sea. Each of these 72 three-letter sequences represents a specific force of divine power. Some are used for healing, others for protection, some for achieving wisdom, enlightenment, or divine intervention. Many of these names are found in Kabbalistic amulets, prayers, and mystical meditations. It is said that Moses himself used the 72 names to perform miracles, including splitting the Red Sea. Could this be the true hidden power of Kabbalah? The ability to use divine words to shape reality? Kabbalah teaches that the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet, Aleph Bet, are not human inventions, they are divine emanations. Each letter is a living entity, a channel of divine energy that resonates with a specific numerical frequency. For example, Aleph, the first letter representing unity, the breath of God. Bet, duality, the beginning of creation. Gimel, motion, the principle of giving and receiving. This connection between letters, numbers, and spiritual forces led to the development of Gematria, a Kabbalistic system of numerology. In Gematria, Words that share the same numerical value are considered mystically linked, revealing hidden meanings in sacred texts. For example, the word chai, meaning life, has a numerical value of 18, which is why 18 is considered a sacred number in Jewish tradition. The word echad, meaning one, has the same numerical value as ahava, meaning love, symbolizing that oneness and love are fundamentally connected. Kabbalists believe that by meditating on these letters and numbers, one can tap into the divine structure of reality. Unlike theoretical Kabbalah, which focuses on philosophy and cosmology, practical Kabbalah is the application of mystical principles to bring about spiritual or material change. It involves divine name invocation, meditating on or chanting the names of God for enlightenment or protection, letter permutations, rearranging Hebrew letters to unlock new meanings or spiritual energies, and numerical transmutations, using Gematria to discover hidden truths, mystical prayer formulas, reciting specific verses with Kabbalistic intention. These practices were considered so powerful and at times so dangerous that many rabbinical authorities forbade their use, except by those with extensive training. It was believed that misuse of divine names could backfire, causing chaos, illness, or even spiritual destruction. Some even say that practical Kabbalah can be linked to early Jewish magical traditions, including the creation of golems, artificial beings brought to life through divine letters, the use of amulets inscribed with sacred names to protect against evil forces, the invocation of angelic names to receive guidance or supernatural abilities, the word as the bridge between worlds. To the Kabbalist, words are not merely sounds, they are vessels of divine energy. The right words, spoken with true intention, can elevate the soul, alter destiny, and bring divine light into the world. This is why Kabbalah remains one of the most mysterious and powerful mystical traditions in history. By understanding the secrets of sacred language, one does not just study Kabbalah, one begins to live it. Would you dare to speak the names of creation? What if I told you that before creation, nothing existed, not even existence itself? No space, no time, no separation between self and other. There was only Ein Sof, the infinite, boundless, unknowable divine presence. But if God is infinite, how could there ever be a space for creation to exist? This is one of the deepest questions in Kabbalah, and the answer lies in the doctrine of Tzimtzum, the divine contraction. Ein Sof, the infinite mystery before creation. Before the universe, there was no distinction between God and reality. There was only Ein Sof, literally, without end. This is not the God of classical religion, a figure seated on a throne, governing creation. Ein Sof is pure, limitless being, beyond form, beyond name, beyond even the ability to be understood. But if God is infinite, then God must fill all things. And if God fills all things, then where could creation exist? Kabbalists wrestled with this paradox for centuries. If nothing exists outside of God, then how could anything apart from God ever come into being? The answer, Tzimtzum, the great divine withdrawal. Tzimtzum, the birth of space and the illusion of separation. Isaac Luria, the great 16th century Kabbalist, proposed that before anything could be created, God had to contract himself. In an act of divine self-limitation, Ein Sof withdrew its presence from a central point, creating a vacant space where something other than God could come into being. But this is where Kabbalah takes a radically different approach from traditional theology. In most religious traditions, God creates the world. In Lurianic Kabbalah, God first removes himself to make space for the world to exist. This concept is revolutionary. Creation begins not with expansion, but with contraction. And yet, this contraction is only an illusion, because nothing can truly exist outside of God. The world, in a sense, is a shadow of divine absence, a space carved out of infinity where separation can appear to be real. The shattering of the vessels, when light became fragments. Once the space was created, God emanated divine light into it, a process known as Shevarit HaKalim, the breaking of the vessels. Imagine it like this. First rays of divine light entered the newly formed empty space. 2. This light was meant to be contained in special vessels, structures that would hold divine energy and organize it into creation. 3. But something went terribly wrong. The light was too powerful. The vessels could not contain it. They shattered, scattering fragments of divine light throughout the void. This event is the cosmic catastrophe at the heart of existence. What we see as the material world is nothing more than the broken shards of divine vessels, each one containing a trapped spark of God's infinite light. Tikkun Olam, the cosmic repair. Why does this matter? Because according to Kabbalah, this is why suffering exists. This is why imperfection exists. This is why we feel disconnected from the divine. The world as we know it is a broken reality, a world built from the shattered remnants of divine creation. But the story does not end there. Each fragment of divine light remains hidden within physical existence. And here lies the great mission of humanity. Tikkun Olam, the repair of the world. To restore the scattered sparks, to reunite them with their divine source. Every act of kindness, every moment of wisdom, every gesture of true understanding lifts a spark from its exile. Kabbalists believe that through study, meditation, and righteous action, we are slowly restoring the divine order, piece by piece, light by light. This is not just a metaphor. Some Kabbalists taught that if all divine sparks were gathered, if all souls fulfilled their purpose, the world itself would be transformed. Creation would be complete. The illusion of separation would dissolve, and we would once again recognize that all things are one. The idea that the world is broken and must be restored is not unique to Kabbalah. It echoes across many mystical and esoteric traditions. In Gnosticism, the material world is seen as a prison of divine fragments, and the soul must awaken to its true divine origin. In alchemy, the world is seen as base matter that must be purified, leading to the creation of the philosopher's stone, a symbol of spiritual transformation. In Hinduism, the world is Maya, an illusion, and the path to liberation is recognizing the oneness of all things. In Christianity, there is the concept of the fall of man and the ultimate redemption of creation. These parallels suggest that the Kabbalistic vision of creation is not just a Jewish teaching, it is a universal mystical truth. What does this mean for those seeking wisdom today? It means that the world is not static. It is unfinished, and we are part of its completion. Every thought, every action, every moment of awareness is a chance to elevate reality itself. But there's an even deeper realization hidden within Tzimtzum and the shattered vessels. If all things contain divine light, then even the darkest places, the most broken aspects of life, hold a spark of divinity. Suffering is not meaningless. It is a concealed light waiting to be uncovered. Evil is not an independent force. It is a distortion, a vessel that has fallen into exile. Redemption is not just a religious concept. It is the metaphysical process of reuniting the world with its source. This is the mystical truth that lies at the heart of Kabbalah. The world is broken, but it is not beyond repair. And we, consciously or not, are the ones who mend it. The question is, will we awaken to that responsibility? In Kabbalah, the human soul is multidimensional. It is divided into three main levels. Nefesh, the lower, instinctual soul, linked to survival. Ruach, the middle soul, the seat of emotions and morality. Neshama, the higher soul, the divine spark within us. Beyond these, some Kabbalists speak of Chaya and Yekada, the deepest layers of divine consciousness. The goal of the Kabbalist is to refine the soul, ascending from Nefesh to Neshama, ultimately seeking union with the divine. Kabbalah didn't remain within Judaism. It influenced alchemy, Freemasonry, the Rosicrucians, and even the Golden Dawn. Figures like Johannes Reuchlin, Pico della Mirandola, and Eliphaz Levi adapted Kabbalah into Christian and Hermetic traditions. Its symbolism even appears in tarot. Many believe the major arcana correspond to the 22 paths of the Tree of Life. In modern times, Kabbalah has influenced everything from depth psychology to quantum mysticism. The endless depth of Kabbalah, a map without an end. Kabbalah is sometimes compared to the ocean, vast, unfathomable, stretching beyond what the mind can grasp. But there's another metaphor, one that may be even more fitting. Imagine standing before a great and endless library, filled with books written in fire and shadow, pages containing the structure of the universe itself. At first, you think you are reading the books, but soon you realize the books are reading you. This is what it means to study Kabbalah. The deeper you go, the more you see that reality itself is a text, a divine inscription waiting to be decoded. Kabbalah teaches that the Torah is not just a historical document, but a living, breathing intelligence, written in a language that shapes existence itself. If that is true, then the world itself is a book, and we are characters within it, seeking to understand the meaning of the story we are living. But here's the paradox. The deeper we read, the more we realize the pages never end. Some traditions claim that to truly know Kabbalah, one must not just study it, but live it. Kabbalah is not about simply understanding concepts. It is about being transformed by them. It is about feeling the tension between infinity and limitation, between light and darkness, between divine unity and the illusion of separation. Every question leads to more questions. Every revelation opens a new mystery. This is why, traditionally, Kabbalah was taught only to those who had spent years mastering the Torah, because true seekers know that knowledge is not just about acquiring information, but about experiencing transformation. Perhaps this is why some Kabbalists believe that certain teachings should only be revealed in whispers, passed from master to student in hidden chambers, away from the eyes of the unready. Because Kabbalah is not just a study of the mysteries, it is a confrontation with them. It is a journey that can break you down and rebuild you, revealing aspects of yourself that you may not be prepared to see. And yet, the question remains, is Kabbalah merely a philosophy? Or is it something greater? A blueprint left behind by the architect of reality, encoded into scripture, numbers, and names, waiting for those with the will to unravel its secrets? I leave that for you to decide. This video is only an introduction. The true journey begins now. If you want deeper explorations into Kabbalistic teachings, if you want to unlock the mysteries of the Sephirot, the divine names, the hidden dimensions of the soul, let me know in the comments. And remember, this is just the beginning. The deeper we go, the more the veil of reality begins to thin. So if you're ready to step further into the hidden truths of the universe, subscribe to Do Occulta Philosophia. There is still so much left to unveil. Are you ready to continue the search?